Hello. First, let me say thank you. It is an honor to be here today to speak on behalf of the mentally ill and disabled population. I myself have worked with the mentally ill and disabled population for many years now, and have heard many stories and seen many things that have shown unfair treatment due to unknowledgeable professionals. One story that comes to mind in particular happened a few years back with a client of mine who I cared for many years. He lived at a group home and tends to, if things get difficult, they call in the police department or the firemen or someone to help them out, to maybe aid the clients in going to the hospital. Because sometimes it's difficult when you have staffing, because they could be new, they might not fully understand, and the individual can be quite strong. You might have two females. Situations happen. In this particular situation, the police department did have to be called, and they came in to help in the crisis. As protocol follows, they sent two police officers. Neither one were trained in how to handle a mentally ill person in the middle of a breakdown crisis. So when they approached in their full uniforms, which can be nerve-wracking for anybody, to this client who is already having a problem and knows right from wrong, but extensively, please show up, I'm in the wrong, something's wrong, I know I did something wrong. So it's scary. And he eventually did calm down. He was sitting on the couch, but the police officer had to approach him to inform him that he needed to be put in handcuffs. The approach was a little harsher, but the police officer did not know the client, which I fully understand. But the information that the person lacked about mental illness in self caused the client then to act up again, knowing that he had to be put in handcuffs. He then got up and ran towards the wall. That is when the police officer appeared to be nervous and took out a taser. He then tased the client 3 or 4 times. And then the client then was able to get up again due to the rage and the strength that he had, and he ran towards the door. They then shot, the other officer then shot him with their taser gun, and now both tasers. He was shocked a few more times. He then dropped to the floor and died right there at the door of his own house, with one of his housemates who saw the whole thing, and he was shocked. He was shocked over 13 times with the tasers. He was 28. It's not the police officer's fault. It's nobody's fault, but the lack of training and the lack of knowledge that these people possess in handling people with mental illness and crises that they may have. This incident happened, and mistakes occur. This isn't the first time, this isn't the last time. There are many stories just like this involving many people with mental illness, and some more severe than others. This is where the mentally ill individual wasn't hurting anybody. They were hurting themselves. But the fear of what you don't expect. Between the years of 1998 and 1993, the use of force on those with mental illness tripled in Phoenix, and nearly a third of those who were killed in police-related shootings in New York City in 1999 had mental illness. Mental illness is a broad range, and it includes a large part of the population and a large part of the crime population. And this is throughout the whole country. And this is a major sign that something needs to be done. Something needs to be done to get these people the correct help. There are times that nothing can be done, and a life will be lost. But for all those moments that were taken out of context and things elevated to unneeded levels due to the lack of training and information, something can be done. These issues affect the whole population. It has and will put people into dangerous situations, all of them, the public, the police, the mentally ill. With the rise of shootings and violent behaviors, it has put a fear into all people, a fear to go into the public and go to places and events, a fear to socialize and meet new people. It has also led to an increase of fear of the mentally ill, an unrealistic idea of what they are like and how they should be handled. This should be addressed so that the people with mental illness have a better chance to live and progress their lives in healthy and non-judgmental ways. If we can locate these issues sooner and handle them with the training and preparedness, we can help eliminate and decrease the number of shootings, violence, and deaths to all people, including police officers and those with mental illness. We should put into place a system of training for all personnel, including firefighters, police officers, and persons like EMTs. I know they have basic training now, but extensive training, one that will teach them physical, emotional, and other skills that can help them de-escalate situations. This should also include different ways to handle situations, including having a profile to go on. This can help. These methods can help with de-escalating all situations without having to use a gun or a taser. This policy will help improve the knowledge of all emergency personnel. They'll have a better way of handling all different situations. The ability to be able to show signs of mental illness in people and see what they need to help stop them and deal with them. By enacting this policy, we can broaden the knowledge about mental illness and how to handle all situations for those who provide the care and aid and support to them. It will be needed for police, firefighters, and EMTs to take a day or two and sit through and practice in a class to teach them the techniques and methods to better inform them how to handle these situations with this population. This can lead to less injuries and deaths of mentally ill people, as well as the deaths of those who try and handle them, like police officers who happen to get killed in the, crossfire. Now we know that this is not a free charge. No system ever is a free, but it won't cost much and can be covered over time with the shows of less numbers to the deaths of mentally ill and police officers. The teachers of these classes can be the officials, can be an official in the office that can take on this role. The classes can be held as in their department, and that will lower the cost of any locations. The 2 days for each person that will receive training will be the highest cost to this policy. These classes, if possible, can be offered during work hours and mandated to be taken at those times. It makes it like a paid sick day, just they are getting training that will save the lives of those with mental illness and keep them from being confused and scared when dealing with that. By not enacting this policy, nothing for this population will change, and things will get worse. The mentally ill people won't get the same fair aid as the rest of the population. More deaths will come from those with mental illness by those who are there to help them. With the mentally ill population increasing rapidly, more and more people will start to fear the support system to the community and hesitate to call in any serious situations. No one wants to call for help when they fear that the person they are calling for, their loved one, might get killed. If this is put into place, the people with mental illness will get a peace of mind and feel they can get help and aid when they need it, just like everyone else. It will lead to less hesitation on family members who are seeking help for their loved ones due to the fear. This can also allow those who are called into this situations to feel more comfortable and have less fear and anxiety about helping someone with mental illness. We know that they say confidence is key in life and can truly change the outcome of any situation. Training is needed and can help those learn more about proper techniques and methods so that they can help better and support those that they are called upon to aid. We don't want to die, and we want those who we care for not to die. And to have a fair chance and equal support for everyone, they need the training. Let those with mental illness live and have a chance to learn how to present their emotions. I lost my client who was also a friend of mine, and I worked with for years. I went to his funeral and I got to see his family. They were sad. They were crying. Tears of loss. I saw the pain and hurt they felt, along with my own pain and my own sorrow over his passing. No one should get that call that someone who they love was killed when they called for their own help. Let's provide that support. Let's provide that training. Let's change the lives for the better of those with mental illness and those who we help. Let's help those. Let's help those who help those learn better techniques. Thank you. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity and the chance to speak here on behalf of the mentally ill population. Please consider this policy and help us make a difference. Thank you.